Well, hello peeps, here we got a solo shuffle match on the Enhancement Shaman at a 1900 rating. As usual, we'll go over the good, the bad and the ugly. Mostly the ugly since I'm quite rusty here and you know, it has to do of course with me not playing the game for a few weeks and whatever, but I think it's still good to show sometimes a bad performance. Just to show people that you have bad matches sometimes. It's not always the spec's fault or the lobby, how would you say, the people in the lobby, so you just have to, I just felt like showing like a bad match. It's not always, you know, it's not always the best when I queue up. I also want to talk about how I feel about Enhance after the nerfs, and don't worry, I take into account that I'm underperforming here, it's not just the spec itself. So the nerfs you can definitely feel. I think everything hits pretty much less. I think the biggest is the burst nerfs. I think they were kind of, I think here too much, but they were just too much in my opinion. I feel like you don't have the burst anymore. You can still have some crazy windows if there's like a lot of targets, because you have a lot of haste, but overall I just feel like you don't have that knockout power that you had before, and that kind of has taken your power away, and you're not kind of the main class. I felt like you were the main class in a composition almost for a bit there, but now you're definitely kind of the supporting role more, and you still do decent damage. You'll still see me topping the meters and stuff, but I just feel like in the long run, your power to carry the game, let's say like that, in the solo shuffle, we're talking about solo shuffle specifically here, but like your power to carry the game is definitely diminished, right? You're definitely not as strong as before. Here, I think the first game I actually do the best performance. I'm healing my shaman, I'm hexing the enemy shaman, like I'm doing the most in this kind of in this round, so it's mostly good here, I'd say, but it's just you can see also, like, if you've seen my other videos, like if you go and watch like my previous video with the elementalist build, right, you're gonna see just how big the damage is, the difference, right? You're never gonna see a 200 something K hit, you know, just like that. Like it has to be like very kind of luck kind of oriented, like where you got all the procs, but like you're just not getting the big crits anymore and the big hits in general. So I don't know, I just feel like the class has lost its kind of carry potential, but you still feel good. You still feel like you're doing really good consistent damage, right? You're constantly doing damage, you're constantly having flame tongue windows and such windows, so it's kind of how would you say, it's unfortunate, but it's also like still, I think the class is still okay. It's just, it's not as bad as season 1, basically that's what I'm trying to say. It's like I still feel like the spec is in a better spot right now than it was in season 1, and I don't know, I think I need to play more, of course, to have a better opinion, so might be kind of early for me to be talking here and giving you my opinion right now, because I just need to play more games, but I'm feeling like I'm doing still very competent damage, like competitive damage, so I'm fine with the class. Here we're just gonna kind of commentate over the game, but before we get into commentating the game, I do have to inform you that only 4.3% of you are subscribed, so if you have been enjoying the content, please consider smashing that subscribe button. Here we're just, I think we're trying to go for Hunter or Elemental, I'm not actually sure, because we've been kind of swapping left and right, to be honest. It's also kind of a healer difference, but the illegal triple blue is going to happen, so unfortunately it's not going to be a total domination for the shaman here. We are doing kind of a decent job, but again, we're just, I guess, not coordinating CC or anything, and it's very hard for me, like I'm just not used to using my focus macros, right? I've been playing some other games and such, so, you know, kind of thinking about focus macro is kind of one of those things that it's kind of harder for me to do about at this point. Like I'm still doing it quite a few times, but overall throughout the match I'm not you know, kind of doing my the job of Enhancement Shaman, which is like one of the most important things is of course interrupting. Here interrupt, it's good, but like overall it's not the best performance. Here I should be looking to get Flame Shock running again, yep. We are going for Shaman. Get knocked off, of course, and just this kind of map is kind of disgusting whenever Shaman, especially Elemental and Restore are considered. Because like you as an enhancement, you have still a good utility, you can knock off people, but it's not the same, not to the same benefit. I guess if I was using Omnibar, I could try to time their knockbacks with my knockback and then like try to knock them back from the platform before they can do it to us, right? But that's about, I think, the only play. Here we get really close. It's just unfortunate. I try to heal. You see me just spamming my healing surge there, but I was just trying to heal him. Unfortunately, it's just not gonna work out. Here, I think we're gonna be trying to go Shaman. Ooh, if I remember in this round, I'm gonna make like a bunch of like... I'll interrupt the trap and I'll do some, yeah... This round I kind of tab target a lot. Kind of mistakenly. Here I'm doing a kind of a good job because I realize I'm not gonna get to the Shaman. So I'm just gonna drag the Paladin away and I'm just gonna kind of use the pillar here to avoid the Shaman's damage and make sure, you know, I'm still doing some of my damage and stuff, you know, I'm not just being useless here. Basically the point was I felt like I was not gonna get into the range there, and they used, you know, waiting for them to use some of their utility so I can kind of push in. Here I'm starting to push in because in reality it's gonna be easier I think to go Shaman. Paladin also can die, but I think we get bubble here. Yep, yeah, we get bubble. I think ultimately we do want to go Shaman here. We might go Pali now just because we got the bubble though, so it's like a good chance. I'm gonna drink here. I'm still kind of sick, so my throat gets dry quite easily. I'm just pumping the Pali because we got the bubble. We also have purges, offensive purges, so it's a pretty good chance of getting down Bop if that gets into question. So just pumping the Pali. I think we could have tried Shaman, but it doesn't matter, I guess, at this point. I'm kind of committed to the Paladin. Again, I'm not really doing any focus hacks here. Focus kicks or whatever. I'm doing like healing and stuff, like I'm refreshing Earth Shield, I'm throwing down healing totem, and so like I'm doing like some stuff, but I could be doing just a lot more in these matches, in these rounds. Like you could be, you know, trying to bait the kick on my hex because of precog and whatever. Actually, I'm not running precog anymore because I need to put it on a different slot, but if I was running right precog, it would be something to think about. So I'm just pumping the Pali, we're trying to get him down. It uses his 1 minute cooldown. I think they're gonna actually get our healer here. We're able to get Bop instantly, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Yeah, they burst the healer. Unfortunately. It's kind of a longer match, I must say. For kind of, how would you say, how badly it was played. I guess that's why it's long. Here, I think it's better to go Hunter, just to interrupt him, but I think my Paladin goes... Here I'm confused what Paladin is focusing. I guess I'm trying to swap to whatever the Paladin is focusing. I'm hitting the Shaman for some reason, although the Hunter is definitely, I think, the easier target overall, I think. It's also, I think, more beneficial because I can actually remove Hex from the shaman, right? But I can't like remove trap. It's also much harder to remove trap, so for us focusing the hunter is actually would be better. I don't know. I'm just kind of biffing here. The paladin had the right idea. Like the paladin definitely had the right idea to go for the hunter. We're just pumping the shaman again. It's kind of a, I guess, mistake. I should be swapping here. I'm swapping. I'm doing it. Nice, nice. Paladin is bursting also very heavily. Here, that's what I was talking about. Like, I'm just top targeting very poorly and like targeting in general poorly. Like, I'm not playing good overall. Like, it's not even just like the spec or the class. Like, my WoW skills of targeting and like thinking about some of these things is just diminished here. You can see that very clearly. Oh, just pumping. I was kind of not trying to do any CC again to the healer and whatever. I'm not trying to do. It's so like it's actually kind of hard to watch for me here because I'm just a target dummy, like, and I'm not even doing like a damage that's like gonna change the fact, like change the situation. That's kind of what I was talking about. Like you as a shaman, you just do very good consistent damage now. But you don't have that like knockout power that you had, like where you could pop wolves, pop all the stuff sundering, right? And you can just do some nice burst, right? Where you can definitely force stuff, like. But now I feel like it's a lot harder to do that on the Enhancement Shaman. Just pumping again. We should be swapping onto the healer. Definitely the druid is kind of the weaker link. I don't see it here. I keep hitting the shaman, and then after the shaman actually borrows, I see that the druid is low. Like it's yeah. I'm making such obvious mistakes. Like how would you say awareness? Like that's like just a lack of awareness. Like I'm so tunnel focused there. Very tunneled focus there, so just tunneling the one target that it's in my face. Like I'm just tunneling, like I'm not seeing the fact that we could have just murdered. Like, if I swapped it there at any point, that the druid is instantly dead, like instantly dead. There's not even like a second, and now we just have the illegal triple blue. I wish the shaman could have won all 6, because then I would win 3. But the illegal triple blue is just illegal. I feel like this should be forbidden. Like we have what, 3 hexes versus a druid, which is like, okay, what are we gonna do with that? You just hex the druid, bro. The legal, I swear to God, just should be illegal to get this comp in your soul shuffle matches. The triple blue, man. It's, I mean, you have all the different specs, but it's like range spec this, yeah, but it's still just criminal. We're pumping the hunter and have the best chance, I think, of going and killing the hunter. And we also have, like, paladin is not like a tank anymore, super tank, so you can kill a paladin. I'm getting kind of punched here, so I go burrow inside the ground and pop out as soon as I see that I'm just kind of healed up. And our healer unfortunately gets like silenced there and can't pop any cooldowns. I was like wondering, you can see me moving my mouse around, where's like where are the cooldowns? The healer kind of blames that on the elemental. Okay, elemental kind of had a bad performance there, definitely, like complete recast but doing like very low damage was kind of weird. Here we target the elemental, but we are actually looking to swap onto the healer, onto the druid when the druid trinkets or whatever. Or just we pressure the druid into... Druid immediately trinket... Yeah, druid is just gapped, as you would say, in this... in League of Legends, in this situation. Like, instant tranquility there is kind of criminal. What a criminal, man. I'm just pumping the elemental, but should be looking for that swap soon. I get really chunked here, so burrow. see me thinking what we're gonna do, and we just, yeah, just press the druid. And even, yeah, you can see even we can't even get off. We're unlucky for a second there. We couldn't get off the bop, but even with that, we're just gonna I'm gonna swap here immediately, and I think I'm almost gonna solo. Yeah, kill shot from the hunter. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things that YouTubers want you to do, and have a nice day.